strong, empowered, authentic.
What's up, Ginger Nation? This is Tosh.
This is Darren, and you are listening to the Authentic
Ginger Podcast. Hey, Ginger Nation, it's Tosh.
And this is Darren, and on the show today, Tosh and I are super pumped to have social media's number one redhead, bearded beauty of a man, Owen Janes. Welcome to the show.
Cheers, guys. Nice to be here.
How do you like that intro? Where do we go from here?
I love it. Yeah. Just keep repeating that. I'm happy.
Yeah. That's right. Awesome.
You posted a picture of you with very short frosted tips hair. And now you have extremely long, beautiful curly, your natural color of a beautiful red. How did that transition happen?
I don't really know, to be honest. It's, I guess, from being a young kid, you naturally assume a boy has to have short hair. So growing up, always had short hair, but something within me had always wanted long hair. So when I got to about 30 years of age, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I didn't want to get to an old man with regrets and think, do you know what, I wonder what I'd look like with long hair. So Faye initially, believe it or not, my wife, she wasn't keen on men with long hair or men with beards. So so we got married in August 2013, and then October 2013, a few months later, I said to Faye, I'm growing my hair. So just went for it. And then, I joined a couple of groups on Facebook with our guys growing their hair to get hints and tips. And 8 years later, it is what it is. So here I am.
Now, I have a question for you about your hair, Owen, in this 2005 picture. Do you recall getting frosted tips? And I say that because I also had frosted tips, maybe a little bit earlier than that, but not far off. And I remember putting this cap on, and someone just picked the hair out, and then after I had the frosted tips, I went and got 2 earrings as well. So I'm not sure if I see any earrings there in your past, but do you remember that day that happened?
Well, firstly, funny you say about the earrings, because I've actually just mentioned to Faye, I fancy getting an earring as well now. So, but I didn't have earrings back then.
Excellent.
So yeah, I actually used to ask my mum to get the cap. So she'd put this cap on my head. It was crazy tight. It had about 1,000 holes in, and I'd ask her to pull the hair through the cap. But being a parent, it just reminded me of like when you're on the beach and you've got sand on your legs, and then you're asking your parents to rub the sand off with a towel. It's not delicate. So mum, it was so painful, and she used to dig into my scalp, pull the hair through, and although I was going for like frosted tips, it ended up just being a complete bleach every time. So it's kind of how I went. I was looking for that kind of surfer look. I wasn't, to be honest, it was more as well because I wanted to surfer look, but I was never overly keen as a young guy having ginger hair. And I'd look at myself in photos with friends, and I'd stand out with my hair, and I had such pale skin. I'd just illuminate in the photos on nights out. So I decided to try and tweak it with the frosted tips.
Can both of you two just stop complaining about how much it hurt to have this much hair pulled through the cap? Try this. Go get them now, Owen, and see how you like it.
No.
Actually, you know what? I think that would be a great idea for 2022, Owen. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay,
they have better ways now, guys. They have better ways.
And by the way, you being wanting to be a surfer dude at that time of your life, where in the hell are you surfing in England?
We do have a coast.
Yes.
In England. I was living pretty much as central as you can get in England, so there was no sea for me to go surfing and such, which is down the road. I just like the look. I guess it was kind of the NSYNC era as well. So you've got like Justin Timberlake and his hair. So not that he was a surfer, but it was that kind of look. So I just wanted the look. I couldn't surf. I've never surfed in my life. So
amazing. I love it.
So let's talk more about younger Owen. So when did you start putting the blonde in your hair and trying to cover up your red?
It's probably about 18, maybe 17 or 18. Yeah, it's kind of when I left school. you've got that kind of peer pressure of you want to look good, don't you? You know, you want to attract girls or guys or whoever. And as I say, like I just see myself in photos, and I thought, I just don't like this. I think it's because of growing up. Although I wasn't bullied as such, I was quite lucky because I was quite sporty. I was kind of one of the kids who was in the middle, wasn't classed as a geek as such, or wasn't classed as one of the popular kids. So I was in the middle, so I knew everybody. But yeah, it's just to look in the photos, and I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna be my best, I thought back then, I need to change something. So that's when I started bleaching my hair.
Is that just after, you know, you've and I know you and I've talked before that you've had experienced some bullying in the past, but was that younger?
It's all the way through, ever since it's probably primary school, to be honest. So from the age of probably like 5 years upwards. So I was lucky where I wasn't bullied as hard as I know a lot of like gingerhead people can be bullied for their hair color. It's kind of the comments that you'd receive, and even today, people more than likely won't even recognize them as bullying. It's kind of passive, but it is there. It is a discrimination. And as the person receiving those comments, also it hits you hard when you're a kid because you don't know how to handle those comments. So yeah, it wasn't constant, but it was pretty much every day. It's like a drip feed. So yeah, I guess once I'd left education, it was time for me to rebel from my ginger hair and try the bleach look. I wouldn't change that because it was an experience, but unfortunately for you, Darren, I'm not going to go back to that this year. So
it's funny because you're, like you said, it's something that's said and it's passive. Like people don't even really notice the redhead bullying. You now have on your Instagram almost 140,000 people following you. How much are you still hearing it?
Yeah, a lot, to be honest. So I'll get comments, but I'll also get a message. It's usually through message. People will come to me directly saying, thank you so much for promoting hair color, like hair, ginger hair. Well, people struggle with their hair color because even in the working world, when you've got people, 18 years up to 60, 65, 70, who still get negative comments about their hair color, or they don't feel confident because of previous comments about their hair color. And because I'll be honest, I don't, sorry for swearing if there's any young listeners, but I just don't give a fuck about what people think. Hugely confident in myself, and if people love me or like me, fantastic. If people don't like me or hate me, fantastic. I don't care. I appreciate it all because it allows me to grow. And that's what I want to share with people. Don't worry about people making comments to you. Just be happy within yourself and who you are. And I've been there, and I can now promote that who I am right now is the best version of myself. So I see it a lot. So I try and change. I want to try and change the people who come to me, their lives a little bit, just so they can feel more confident. So I do see it quite a bit.
Owen, are you familiar with Ed Sheeran's comments this past week regarding the South Park episode that more or less as he, quote unquote, fucked his life up or ruined his life, if you will? Are you familiar with that article that came out?
Yeah, so I didn't read into it, but I saw the headlines, and I know that, yeah, he mentioned in the UK it was big, but when he went to the US, that made it even bigger for him. So, yeah.
To me, I'm really happy that he did that in a way, because, we have talked about this quite regularly on this podcast, and a lot of the people that we're talking to, and I'm not sure about yourself, but a lot of them that we're talking to sort of reference that episode as, a part of their lives that they would rather forget, because of course through that came the nastiness with the kicking and everything else. And not to beat a dead horse to the ground, but, I think it's really nice in a way that Ed came out and said, hey, he called out the episode, he called out the two guys, and it's like, yes, I'd still like to be on their show, but as myself. And it almost sounds to me like that when he said that in the article, that he would like to sort of change the past and talk about that, Tosh. I'm not sure if you've read into that too, but it seems like he'd want to change that past and change the narrative around that. And it's people like yourself, Owen, and Ed, and Tosh's favorite actor right now, and from the wonderful show. What is it, Tosh?
I don't know. I'm like, which one are you gonna pick?
I know.
I assume you're going with Outlander, right?
Of course
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
But he's
Okay,
not
yeah.
a real ginger, so we
No.
like.
That's right.
You can't give him too much credit. Yeah.
But it's but again, it's still people like yourselves, Owen, who are out there spreading that message.
Mm.
And we had the pleasure of working with you last year to create a campaign around that. Thank you actually for pushing me even that much harder to be who I am and who I'm not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I pride that, and I think it's super important that people understand that it's important to have that behind you.
Absolutely, yeah. I say to people that you've got to be kind, you've got to be a good person, but you've also got to be kick-ass as well. I actually use comments from the trolls, and I get them, if not most days, definitely most weeks. And I'll use their content, not all the time, but sometimes as content that I can use to create something. And again, it just shows, one, people actually say, oh, you shouldn't respond to the trolls. I agree to a degree, but sometimes it is quite good fun to have a little pop back, just so people can see that you really don't care about their comments. But also, I can show the people who are a little bit more insecure about not only their hair, but something else in life. If you show that you can stand up and words are just words, they mean nothing unless you allow them to mean something, then
that's right.
I will have fun back at the trolls. So bring it on. If I can take a troll away from somebody, I'm here all day for that. It means nothing to me.
People that are trying to be trolls are the people that are missing something in their lives, right? So they
100%.
just need that little bit of love, and they don't expect to get it, but if they get it back, it could totally change their day or what have you. So I'm totally with you on that. The South Park thing I wanted to go back on, because just Darren, you talking about it and Ed talking about it, it kind of makes you wonder what they did at the time for all of us growing up in that generation has actually kind of backfired. Like, I know it's taken 20 years, but there are more confident as hell redheads now than there ever were before. So they tried to take that away, and I actually think it flipped, because you wouldn't, and I know that social media has changed the entire world right now, but you wouldn't see people like Ed, like Owen, that are out there flaunting their hair and being proud of it. Because it's awesome that we're redheads, but it also doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, it's really true. It's true. I think as well, like you say, social media, last 20 years, obviously, that's when social media has grown from its infancy all the way up to where it is now. Before that, the view of people with red hair would be what you'll see on television, really, or on advertising, or in magazines and newspapers. And we know they'd just be stereotyped to be the bully, when ironically, it was typically them getting bullied. So always seen in a bad light. But now, like you say, 100%, social media allows us to flourish. And we're doing that with pride, I think.
You hit a milestone last year, in 2021, a very major milestone, which is 1 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah. Really cool.
1 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Congratulations.
Mind blowing.
Thank you.
Right? Like, yeah, super congratulations. And to that, leading up to this interview, I was going through your TikTok, and the videos that are there, they're just something about your character that is you're drawn into it, and you just want to keep looking at more and more and more and more. And there's a lot of funny stuff, there's a lot of serious stuff, there's a lot of just Owen Janes stuff. And so if you haven't been on to Owen's TikTok, Owen, can you tell everybody what that TikTok is right now? Just we'll do it at the end of the show as well.
Sure, yeah. So it's Owen.oj.
So TikTok, how did you get there, and how exciting was that for you? That has to be a milestone that you put in your life book.
Hold on 1 second. 1 sec. I gotta pause you on that, because first of all, to get to, like, I need to know who you are. Like, what did you do before TikTok? What it like?
Good point.
What exactly? Like, what is your career background? Like, you've got to have some sort of video. Like, you didn't wake up one day and go, you know what? I am going to be a social media guru. I'm gonna be legendary. What is it?
No, that's actually it. I just said I'm going to be legendary, and it just just charisma.
Simple as that, Tosh.
Yeah, handsome, charisma. I honestly have no idea. I wish I could share secrets with people. So, but my background's nothing to do with marketing or social media. I always, at a young age, wanted to be a professional footballer, or soccer. had trials but didn't quite make it. And then it was okay, Formula One. Did a little bit of go-karting, didn't make it. So I fell into
cool. I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, it's only a little bit, but it's good fun. But then because I had no idea of where I wanted to go in life, I just ended up in sales, and all different manner of services, like shredding paper, like confidential shredding, burglar alarms, advertising for like phone books, and I was just trying to kind of find my route through life. And I think I do enjoy sales. I do enjoy selling to people and finding what people need. So that really helped me and actually learned a lot. And I'd recommend anybody to at least look at a course in selling or something, because it's not even selling products. It's just getting through life. It's really helpful for listening and hearing.
Agreed.
So I think that's actually probably helped with my confidence through life. And then I've never shied away from anything. So I thought I'll just project that onto social media, and that's kind of how I've ended up.
What's up, Ginger Nation? If you're looking for authentic ginger swag, go to www.authenticginger.com. Use code AGPodcast for 20% off your next purchase.
At the start of lockdown, was it March 2020? That's when I said to Faye that I'd start my TikTok account. And it just went off from there.
Unbelievable.
Wait a second. Did you say 2020?
Yeah.
We went bowling, like 10-pin bowling, in December 2019, I think it was. And Faye had set up her TikTok account. And I was like, I'm not joining TikTok. I can't be bothered with that. You know, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. That's all I need. And I hardly use them. But then I'm also quite competitive. And I saw Faye, I didn't want Faye kind of like steaming off on TikTok. So a couple of months later, I said, right, I'm going to start using TikTok now. The main reason is because of obviously COVID and blah, blah, blah kicking in. I said to Faye, everyone's so negative and scared right now. I'm going to use TikTok. It's a new platform, and I'm just going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to try and make people smile, be a little bit more positive, and just share my hair and beard life experience with people. And then I've been consistent, like pretty much every single day. And it is hard work. I have a full-time job that I still work now. And then once that's finished or in breaks, I'll then go and do a little bit on social media. So it's just sheer consistency of content. Not trying to create the perfect post, but just being real, like just be me, you know, and put it on there. Some of the videos are rubbish, but people watch them. So yeah, it's just consistency and being yourself, being authentic.
Well, and how old is TikTok now though? Like, cause I will admit, I didn't know you had more than 1 million followers, because I'm not on TikTok. I'm amazed by your 140,000 on Instagram.
I know, that's what I thought earlier. I know. I said I couldn't wait to tell
I can't wait
Tosh
to tell her. Idiot.
Yeah, I have a question for you about TikTok, and I'm curious to know if other influencers within the realm that you are in right now with TikTok, is there a community like that? Is there a group of other influencers that are out there doing similar things as you are, as far as followers and consistency and everything else? Do you guys talk to one another?
Yeah, so I've made some like amazing relationships with people who is kind of the same number of followers as well. So yeah, you chat, you have like, you know, your messages, and you discuss meeting up and doing things in the future with each other. Obviously, again, the situation around the world is kind of limited actually meeting up with people. But as things hopefully start to ease off a little bit more, we'll be able to meet up. But yeah, there's a good bunch of people that I chat to and build relationships with. So yeah, certainly.
So where did and when did the whole Viking thing come in? Is that like once your hair and your beard grew out? Was it just like that's when people started referring to, or was it you that went, you know what, I kind of look like Eric the Red? Let's get some pictures done.
But do you know what? Funny enough, there's a guy I currently work with called Ken, and I've always had my undercut and my long hair. But one day he said, "Oh, Viking Owen," and then I was like, "Oh," stroked my ego a little bit. I quite like that. But then I started kind of playing with it online a little bit, and then other people started mentioning it in comments and things. So I could see that there was definitely something there that would run. And I'm a big believer in like the universal law of attraction and stuff like that. And I said to Faye, there's a beard brand which I really, really want to work with, and they're their main branding is Viking, and I mean Viking. They're incredible. And I said, Faye, I want to work with those guys. And then, no word of a lie, within about 6 months, they actually contacted me to go into partnership with them. So I was like, this is perfect. Like, it is pure Viking now. So I've got kind of a Viking persona sometimes online as well. Yeah, it's really good fun. But it initiated from a guy at work saying Viking Owen. So yeah.
Take it. That's cool, because then it spawned into these truly amazing photos of both you and your wife. That they're absolutely stunning.
Similar to like you mentioned with the connecting with like larger accounts on TikTok. Same with photographers and videographers. Like I think you start to appear in like the explore pages and the news feeds, and then obviously people reach out to you. And I'm again a big believer in taking an opportunity if it feels right, go for it and learning, even if it's completely out my comfort zone and certainly outside Faye's comfort zone. I was like, yeah, let's do this, because one, it's content. Two, it helps them as well, the photographer or videographer, with their content and business growth, which I'm more than happy to do. And we just went for it, and it's been honestly the most incredible experience. And yeah, the pictures look pretty cool as well. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time before a studio comes calling.
Yeah, but you know what, Darren? So many people say about, oh, you're going to be in a film or something. I'm not an actor. So imagine me rocking up to a film. I'll be a great extra.
Fair enough. But to go back to your point, 2020, you had no idea you were going to get on TikTok and have 1 million followers within a year.
Yeah, very, very true. Very true. I'm happy to learn how to act. That's fine.
Yeah, you'll do just fine.
Yeah.
That was actually what I wondered. Like, were those photos an intent to move into that kind of world? Because I didn't know what your background was. So I wasn't sure if maybe you were an aspiring actor.
For me, I absolutely love social media and how it can be creative and get your message across to people. So yeah, for me, it was a little bit of fun, but also, as I say, it's content building for me as well. Also working with other people. And when you can help other people build their portfolio, they've got connections and it just snowballs from there. So you never know what might come from it. But yeah, it's been really good fun.
One of the things that I adore about you is the fact that Faye is very much a part of your business and your creations and everything that you're doing. And it just, there's a realism behind that and a really big connection. And I find myself half the time wanting to talk to Faye instead of you.
I don't blame you.
Right? Like, because she's a mystery to me right now. I may have to have a podcast interview with her here at some point to get her aspect and as married to Owen Janes.
How to be married to a ginger. Yeah.
Yeah, like exactly. No, but it's really true. You two are adorable human beings, and I really appreciate that. And I bet you there is a lot of other people that would think the same way, because she's a part of she's a part of the business that you guys are growing here, which is fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate that. So it's true. But yeah, we've kind of both grown the same. We've invested in property. We invested financially in trading. We've done all different, but learn at the same time, including social media. But we've kind of gone off on different branches. So yeah, we just support each other. We never hold each other back. If I want to do something, Faye's like, yeah, just go for it, Owen, I'll support you. Exactly the same to Faye. If Faye wants to go and do something, I will not get in her way at all, because her life is her life, but I'm just there to support her on that journey. So yeah, it's a pretty cool marriage to be in.
Yeah, you're a smart man. Good job. So I think we do have to talk about your hair and the upkeep of your hair and your beard, because it is no small feat to do. I can imagine, like, without your sides shaved, I know how thick my hair is, and obviously all gingers have excruciatingly thick hair. So how big does it puff up if you let your sides go? Would it
it would be ridiculous. It would, honestly, it would be like a duvet. It's massive. I put my undercut in, one because, and this is way before Vikings and Game of Thrones, I just thought the look looked pretty cool. So that was the first reason. The second reason, I was getting quite warm with my hair. So I thought that's going to cool me down a little bit if I'm losing 1/3 of it. And then thirdly, like you say, because our hair is naturally so thick and coarse, it just make it that little bit easier to style and a lot quicker to dry when you get out of the shower as well. So there's a lot of it, even though I'm missing a third of it.
So you are very vocal about the fact that like your upkeep and management with it, you don't wash every single day. How often are you washing your hair? What kind of products are you using? Because there is one that you were talking about that both of my daughters have really curly hair too. And I was like, Owen's using that. I have to go buy it. Like social media works. It does.
It does. It really does. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I had no idea what to do with my hair. I was a typical guy, I guess. Like when I was growing my hair, literally no idea. Like products, I just used a wet look gel, which wasn't great in the early days. But yeah, so washing wise, it varies because I like to test different routines and products. But typically 2 to 3 weeks between shampoo and condition. The longest I've gone is 7 weeks without washing it. I'll wet it in the shower, scrunch water into my hair, and then leave it, and then apply a styling product. That's literally it. And I think a lot of people look at like my beard and my hair. And think, you're going to spend like hours every single morning in the shower. I'm ready before Faye every single day, guaranteed. Yeah. So it doesn't take me that long. Yeah, I think people assume there's it's called curly girl method. I don't know if you guys have heard of it at all. Darren, you're nodding your heads. But I don't follow that. I'm really not good at being told what to do. I've not fully looked into it either, so I just don't follow rules that much. So I've just tested loads of different products, different brands, from kind of watching your pennies all the way up to premium brands, just to kind of find what does and doesn't work for me. So yeah, it doesn't take me that long. It's quite easy, really.
The bonus of having like the thicker strands too, right? Is that we don't have to wash our hair as often either, because definitely. I don't know about you, but my hair never looks greasy. So yeah, I mean, I certainly cannot go 7 weeks, but I can get a good week and a half out of my hair before I'm like, okay.
Well, I heard you in a previous podcast as well. You mentioned that our hair kind of repels water, and I was like, it so does. It really does. Because honestly, I'm like a duck. I could stand under a shower and it's like a bead of water coming off my head. So yeah, it's different for sure. But I find it, because it's thicker, it's actually easier to maintain personally. My most challenging is my beard. So if it's a windy day, I have a nice parting on my beard, and it literally splits and it turns into like a double moustache kind of.
Yeah, I've seen several TikToks of that.
I just see people look at me and their eyes straight down to the chin. It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I have a fact for you today.
I was going to ask if you had any. Okay.
I'm going to give you one fact, and then I'm going to put Owen on the stand for some rapid fire questions.
Nice.
Being a redheaded man may have health benefits that we have not discussed yet on this podcast. A study published by the British Journal of Cancer suggested that men with red hair are 54% less likely to develop prostate cancer than their brown and blonde-haired counterparts.
54%? That's remarkable.
Staggering number. Staggering number.
Awesome.
Wow.
So congratulations. I wish I had red hair. Damn it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. That's cool. Yeah, thank you.
And so what I wanted to do here to finish my segment off, Owen, if you're familiar with the podcast, you'll know that I do as many redhead facts as I possibly can come up with, and the search continues. However, today, because it's you and you're a special guest and a friend of ours, I'm asking you some rapid questions, and we'll get those answers. So I think people are going to be really surprised by some of these answers. So start off with this one. What is your favorite drink?
Ooh, coffee.
Okay.
Definitely a coffee.
Not tea?
A latte.
Not
latte,
tea?
typically. No, it's definitely a coffee.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
You stumped me there. What is your favorite food?
Chicken curry.
If a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be?
Fantasy.
Okay. All right. Following that up,
I don't know what
admire?
fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Who do you admire?
First of all, obviously Faye and my family, but for me, if there's anyone in the world, Ayrton Senna, Formula One driver, Ayrton Senna.
Amazing.
I didn't know who he was, so thank you. I appreciate the follow-up there.
And please do follow up. Yes. How many keys do you have in your keychain?
4.
Okay, so you're not like a janitor like me. I have probably 50.
No, but I used two. I don't know what the other two are for.
All right,
Yeah.
here's one for you too. What is a social media influencer who's just absolutely killing it that you know?
Espen or Pilot Viking.
Okay.
Incredible
Awesome.
content, yeah.
I'll be creeping them in just a moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Are you
Was that Viking?
Yeah, so it's Pilot Viking. Faye fancies him. My sisters fancy him. Go for it, Tosh. He's a great guy as well. So.
Gosh, you're ruining my rapidness here, Tosh.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, I'm just kidding. Are you a morning person or night person?
More night, I'd say.
I know.
Yeah.
Night. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you done that you're most proud of?
Be me, to be honest. I know it's cliche, but just be me.
Perfect. What's your favorite hobby?
Hiking, I think. Walking in nature.
What is one thing that annoys you the most?
One thing.
Yeah. Break it down for us.
One thing that annoys me the most. I would have to say people being fluffy. I quite like things black and white. Just tell me as it is. Don't fluff about. Just tell me.
I think that's a redhead quality. It's a trait that comes to redheads.
Yeah. I like it.
Don't beat around the bush. Just tell it to me. Yeah.
Two more. What is the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
I don't know. Dog biscuit, maybe. I'm sure there's probably other things, but I mean.
Yeah, we'll go with dog biscuit. Sure.
Yeah.
And I'll give you one more here. What is one of your weird quirks? Tell the audience what one weird quirk you have.
Weird quirk. Give me 2 seconds. Faye, what would you say is a weird quirk that I've got?
You have a lifeline. You can ask Faye.
One.
Can I?
Don't talk about soup.
You're just annoying.
Apparently, I'm just annoying. So I'm just annoying. I guess it's not a weird quirk. I'm a bit of an attention seeker when I'm with people. So I'm just annoying.
You know what? There you go. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm going to follow that up with something that you don't know about Tosh. Ask Tosh to take off her mic sock.
Oh, no.
Come on, Tosh.
Don't be an asshole, Darren.
You see that piece of black see that piece of black foam on her mic right now?
Yeah.
And I know the audience can't see it. She will not touch that.
I'm afraid of sponge. Thanks, Darren. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting red because I'm embarrassed for myself. But I think it's truly incredible.
I'm also petrified of birds. If we want to lay it all out on the line here.
But I see birds I can get. Do you know, we actually had a barn out, delivered a rings which down the aisle, and Faye has a friend who's scared of birds. So we had to make sure that she was sitting by the wall, not on the aisle, because as it's fruits. So I can appreciate that. But sponges, I mean, when you say you're scared, is it the texture? What is it?
Yeah. You know, like, is there anything like that you touch or that you hear and it just makes you
okay, so
yeah, it makes me cold, like that cold, gross feeling.
I've got a weird one. It's kind of gross. It's imagining a paper cut, but in your eye. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Wow. Man.
How often are you sitting around thinking of that? That's
it's been a while.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah, that's all burned in our brains for the rest of the day.
Don't. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you for playing along with my rapid fire questions. It's the first time we've done that here on the podcast, so maybe there'll be more, but maybe it'll just be for you, Owen.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a great way to get to know people, and I think we're going to leave it at that today. We've taken enough of your time, Owen. It's been really great to get to know you. Keep up the great content, because you really are changing the way people look at themselves and look at the people around them.
I appreciate that. And yeah, thank you guys for the opportunity to be on the podcast with you as well. It's fantastic, and it's everything which I believe in, and you know what I see as well. So it's been absolute pleasure as always.
Okay, so Owen, we wanted to get one final piece from you, which is your social media handles, so that everybody in the world knows where to find you on Instagram and TikTok.
Sure. So Instagram is Owen_Janes, and that's JAN for November, ES. And then TikTok is Owen.OJ.
Awesome. Thank you. You've been listening to the Authentic Ginger Podcast.
Become a part of the Ginger Nation by liking, subscribing, following, and leaving a review wherever you listen to podcasts. This podcast was produced by Tosh Taylor of the Podcast Hub Productions. Find her online at podcasthub.ca.